At the end of Justice League Unlimited, Darkseid isn't defeated by Superman, but by Lex Luthor, who walks in through the ashes, still in a nice suit and tie, but with an offer.
The anti-life equation. My gift to you.
And they're both gone forever. Lex Luthor saves the world. And without the full story, it'll leave you with a lot of questions. Lex Luthor is either a character you'll love or get irrationally irritated with. His whole big cliche is, he's so goddamn rich so he can get away with everything. But ironically, in the DCAU, it's more due to the fact that he's so goddamn charismatic.
All I know is your hero did nothing to help me.
Lex's story starts out in Superman the Animated Series, and as you would expect, he hates Superman. He wants to rule Metropolis as their savior and build his empire on it. But Superman easily outshines him in public appreciation.
A being with your abilities could be very useful to me on a, shall we say, global scale. Why don't you float on in and we'll discuss it?
And contrary to what Lex believed at first, everything doesn't revolve around him. However, Lex can also be a selfish prick, always putting himself before others. Even if it's Mercy, the most loyal person in Lex's life. These two key elements show cowardism and self-interest, which I argue is the start of Lex's journey. But ironically, this refusal to change is what leads Lex to start dying. In Justice League, the kryptonite Lex keeps with him at all times actually begins to radiate his body to the point of killing him.
Remember that chunk of kryptonite you carried around for years?
What about it? Kryptonite only affects you.
Actually, we're finding that it can affect humans too, but only if they're exposed over a long period.
So now he needs his own arc reactor on at all times. I would say this is the beginning of Lex's second act. His own mortality and fear of death is what holds power over his life, and is something he has to confront in order to change. Which leads us to the father stage, represented by Amazo, an omnipotent android who Lex tricks into fighting the Justice League. At first, he sees how utterly small and insignificant life is. But then he returns in Unlimited, and all the might of the Justice League aren't able to stop him. Death is coming for Lex. It's upon being small that Lex finally starts to see clearly.
What is your ultimate purpose?
What you're really asking is, what is yours?
Lex can be a total dickbag, but his belief in making purpose for yourself is exactly what Amazo needed.
What am I evolving into? What is my purpose? I must know! Tell me!
There's no way to tell. And that's why I stay in the game. My purpose, if you will, is to see where it's all going. And you'll live forever. You'll be able to see it all.
Is that my purpose? Simply to be a witness?
We create our own purpose in life. Now go create yours.
Lex saves his own life by solving Amazo's existential crisis.
Told you we'd beat him.
What do you mean, we?
However, this is not Lex's culmination. It's actually through another person, another robot, Brainiac, who cures Lex of his cancer. Lex builds himself an Amazo body for immortality, but then Amanda Waller destroys it.
A nano-disassembler beam. Your design, I believe.
Arrogant cow! It'll take weeks to build myself another android body.
After escaping, Lex asks Brainiac what he plans to do in the future. Brainiac just wants to accumulate all knowledge, but he lacks purpose.
I repeat the process across the entire universe until I have recorded all knowledge and destroyed all of creation.
And then?
But Lex has the arrogance to use it.
I'm offering you the one thing you've always lacked. Imagination. I've got a proposition for you, partner.
And to earn Brainiac's trust, Lex offers to merge himself with him for the ultimate goal of godhood, almost sharing himself with Brainiac. Lex begins to break away from his own selfish desires to an extent. However, Flash is able to beat him using the Speed Force. Brainiac now exists inside Lex's bald head as a guide to becoming godlike again. But even after Lex takes control of Grodd's Legion of Doom, he still places failsafes on all of them.
That's how you know I'm Luthor. When I augmented your powers, I also made sure I can override your abilities. Would anyone else care to try me?
Everyone's just simply tools to him. Tools to help resurrect Brainiac.
If you like this world so much, keep your fool mouth shut. And maybe I'll let you keep it. Me, I'm going to be a god again.
But as he's about to, Tala gets her revenge by bringing on a Brainiac/Darkseid mix. And as a result, Lex must put aside his own ego and fear of death to side with the League as the world ends.
You've got some nerve coming to us for help.
Darkseid took Brainiac away from me. I can't hear his voice in my head anymore.
It's very subtle, but the Lex here, who is still very arrogant and self-absorbed,
only a 12th level intellect has the slightest hope of surviving.
Then I'm overqualified.
The actions he has here are ones that he would have never made at the start of the story. To side with Superman, a man he hated, but to also go to his funeral to pay respects.
Believe it or not, I'm going to miss him too.
Who stopped being a coward and stared his own death in the face and turned his back on it. A man who was ready to share his existence with someone else for greater existential ambition. Lex isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting for Brainiac too. Even though he just saw Brainiac as a tool, that attachment stemmed deeper, to the point where he screams it at Darkseid.
You destroyed Brainiac, and I'm going to make you pay!
Lex solves the anti-life equation and sacrifices himself to save the world.
Thanks to Luthor, of all people.
In many ways, Lex Luthor represents the worst mankind has to offer.
But he died saving us all. I doubt that either of them died. We saw it this time.
Lex Luthor is saving the world.
The truth is, for all my struggles to make my mark in life, for all I've accomplished, in just a few short generations my name will be forgotten. Even the greatest of us can't compete with time and death.